Good afternoon, all. Welcome back to the session. Today we have with us uh, Shri Cherian Joseph Sir. Sir is Additional Director and Head of South Region for PCRA from Chennai. It is an honor to have Sir with us. Sir has vast experience and knowledge in energy conservation area. It would be an honor, Sir, to for the students to listen to you. I would like you to please share a few words with them. Over to Joseph.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Good afternoon, everybody. So it's an honor to be with you for this program. So it is first of all, let me thank you for inviting PCRA to conduct this program in your college. So as you are aware, PCRA, Petroleum Conservation Research Association, is a unit under Ministry of Petroleum, promoting the energy conservation measures in all fields of all walks of life, including industrial, domestic, transport, and agriculture.
Karishma, is there a connectivity issue? I think Sir isn't audible.
We also undertake the education campaign to reach the masses. We conduct.
I think we've lost the connection with Cherian Joseph, Sir. I think he'll be back with us in a minute. Please just stay. Yes, sir. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry. I think that's some
Yes, sir.
connectivity issue.
Right, sir. Thank you so much, sir, that you've shared your thoughts with the young minds. I'm sure they'll find it very useful, sir, and it'll help them professionally also.
Yes. Yes. So you have to carry on this. Definitely, this message of energy conservation, it will be very useful, especially in the industries. Today we are taking Mr. G. Harry sir is taking the session on energy conservation, mainly focused on industrial activities. So should be very useful to you, and also to convey this information to your friends and brethren also. And more, if you want any more details, you can always contact PCRA and any of our officers. We'll be most happy to assist you in any matters related to energy conservation. Thank you all once again for inviting me. To all very best for your future as well as your career ahead. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. It's an honor. Thank you again. I think we'll move on to our next session for the day. Professor Hara Iyer, sir, will continue with the part 2 of the day, of the session. Hari, sir? Iyer, sir? Am I audible to you, sir?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Sir, can you unmute your mic, sir?
Hari sir, I think your mic is on mute, sir. We're not able to hear it, sir. Hari, are you here, sir? I'll just contact sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Do rejoin. So now you go to regular.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Hello.
Now you're audible, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you, children. Hello. I am hearing my reflection. I thank
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Cherian sir. This is my second program. He is attending at yes. Last time I was very happy to him as well as Mr. Hari on the program. Now we are going to start with my presentation. Is it visible?
Yes, sir. It is visible, sir. It's absolutely clear,
Okay.
sir.
So I am starting with my presentation. I am focusing on energy conservation, which has already been discussed with by Professor Ramana eloquently. Now I will I will just go through the slides and mostly. Everybody is expected to mute. Then whatever that questions are there, or kindly put in the chat box. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So PCRA is already Mr. Professor Ramana as well as Mr. Hari has eloquently discussed about PCRA. So I am skipping this slide. So energy conservation is a topic which you are going to cover, and importance. The most of the next slide. Hello. This is okay. Next.
Sir, sorry to disturb you. Can you put on your video as well, sir, as we are not able to see you?
Sorry for interruption. Now video is clear.
Sir, your presentation is clear, sir, but you are not visible, sir. You need to put on your camera as well.
What is the problem?
Your video is not visible, sir.
Video.
Yes, sir, your video. Your presentation is visible, but you are not visible. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Better, sir.
Ah, see, this is Charles Korea. How many participants know about him? Okay, I will come to that. This is some of the Gandhi Smarak Sangrada Ahmedabad. This is Jeevan Bharati building, Connaught Place, New Delhi. This is British Council. This is Lisbon. So most of this has been done by Normal Foster. He is an architect. You design for the present and awareness of the post for the future, which is essentially unknown. Laurie Baker, we already discussed. Nobel laureates. Now, John Goodenough, 97 years. He has invented lithium ion rechargeable battery, which is of relevance now today when we talk about green buildings, because that is the essence for solar rooftop, which can store energy for your building consumption, uh, green building consumption. Then look at his age, 97 years. That means you have got enough time. We have got enough time. We senior citizens also have got enough time. We have seen earlier speaker, Professor Ramana, has got his doctorate in after his 65th year from a foreign university. So age is just a number. Okay. So lithium chargeable battery is of importance in the present day green revolution, because that can be good for applicable for not only storage of solar energy, but also for the storage of energy for running your future vehicle, e-mobility. So another Nobel laureate of economics, his significant advice to US policymakers is during the downtime of US 11 budget, we have to concentrate jobs as well as improve economy by building better highways, roads, airports, ports, public works, etc. Now, expect what is expected from a good education system, whether it is architecture or any other disciplines. The ability to think critically, to analyze problems, to communicate clearly, to work laterally across disciplines, which is very important for a architect, because architect will have to work together along with engineers, other engineers, to make his uh, work successful. Architectural, the architecture is a creative work. It's got aesthetic sense, and added to that, so many other important things are there. Okay, so which is multidisciplinary in the context. So we have to have also an in-depth research. So in-depth research, I made some attempt to go into the details of green buildings, design of green buildings, how to make a self-reliant, that is a net-free energy building. So we'll be discussing on that. It will be throwing some also opportunity for the uh, research scholars to go into the future options. And now we have to see Krugman, Nobel laureate, economist, then lithium ion battery, John. So we are going back. Now, importance of energy conservation, everything has been uh, discussed with my previous speaker. Now you see, India India has got rural population 700 millions. Most of the rural population are all do not have a house to stay. So housing sector is going to expand. And the poverty has to be eliminated. So the onus is on us, the privileged class, to see that this is fulfilled. But then, unfortunately, what is happening is there are structures, buildings throughout, whether it is Hyderabad or any city, all concrete structures, all steel constructions, all that is mostly inefficient, that is energy inefficient. So all increasing the global warming. Now, energy resources, Professor Ramana has well eloquently expressed. I don't want to go into the details. And solar energy is going to be tested next energy source. Now, why we are saving energy? These are now greenhouse gas effect because of global warming. So these are the global temperatures going higher and higher up, and there's no end. Hyderabad, where from we are speaking, was a very, very city of very, very salubrious climate 10 to 20 years back. Now it is all plus 45 degrees, and there is unnecessary damage of forests, whether it is needed or not. So this is the situation, global warming facts. These are the slides which I will slip through, because we are finally our focus attention will be green buildings, because are the solution of all the global facts. Natural disasters, again global warming, again indiscriminate deforestation, cutting trees. Where I stay in Miapur, I'm staying in 17th floor. When I look around, I can see the devastation carried out in the forest, and it is going on, going on, going on. Okay. Factory fumes, another area. Now, we also see the addition of carbon footprints by using our electronic and electric gadgets. So these are the carbon footprints. So solution is again green building. So many. Please mute your. Please mute. Some disturbance is coming from. See, Professor Ramana has eloquently discussed about the lighting, about the lamps, all these things. So I don't want to repeat, but is this only an indication that each of us are contributing to the global warming by adding to the carbon footprints. So this is a refrigerator maximum. Out of all these, we can see refrigerator. Then only comes air travel. Then our electric lamp on 4 hours a day, 4 hours a day, 120 kilograms addition to the carbon footprints. So why energy conservation? It is collective, because we have collectively destroyed the environment. So it is due to human cause, but it is man-made disasters, anthropogenic disasters. So we have to solve it collectively. So energy efficiency benefits. So it is beneficial to everybody. Individually, collectively, individually means we will be bringing down our electric billings. Then collectively, yes, global warming, the company in which you are working will be getting benefited out of energy efficiency measures, conducting energy audits. Next, most efficient, higher profits. Efficiency is related with profits. So company can gain more. Economic prosperity will be generated. So renewable energy is last. First is energy conservation, then energy efficiency, then finally renewable energy. This is a pyramid. This is a organization, or rather a pyramid of energy conservation and solutions. So energy consumption by sector. Now you see domestic sectors is 20%. So energy. So that is in India. What about in United States? United States is 72%. That means they consume the maximum energy, and their carbon footprint is much more than that. When there is 72%, you can have a general mathematical, arithmetical rather, 72 divided by 20, nearly four times more than us. Because they are developed, their consumption is more. Their per capita commercial consumption is far 4 to 5 times more than us. Now, economy as a whole, agricultural, industrial, transport, domestic and commercial. So these are transport again, transport up to 20%. Most of these are coming from petroleum and diesel and lubricants and fossil fuels. And what our uh, total electrical consumption is because of fossil fuels. Now, this Energy Conservation Act already discussed. I'm skipping through. Them. So, power consumption by coolers and fans, fridge, TV. You see, these are our domestic consumption. See, those people who are interested, coolers and fans. What are the coolers? AC, air conditioners, and fridge. These are the cooling and heating systems. So these are the main principal culprits. So we should know how to tackle them, how to adjust our uh, temperatures, fan speeds, depending upon our requirement, and we know that how to manage it without 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 we have to see to it that by without investing anything, we should be able to bring down our consumption. How is it? Switch off the land, switch off the lights whenever not necessary. These are simple things which you can do. In your home also, you can do home energy audit to find out how much energy consumption can be achieved. First thing is to go through your power bills. From their power bills, you can understand how much is the total power consumption, and from there it can be brought down by adjusting the air conditioners. See, now every day everybody has got an air conditioner.
We seem to be having some technical issue with sir. We just get back.
Um, there is a power cut at Hari Iyer sir's place. So he'll be joining with us in 2 minutes. It'll just take some time. Just give 5 minutes, please. Just stay online. He should be joining with us very soon. Okay.
Sorry for the disturbance. Are you able to hear me?
Yes, sir. We are able to hear you, sir.
Okay, audible. Okay. Now we will go back to the slides. Now, is there any question for you? You put in the chat box.
Yes, sir.
We'll discuss later. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now I'm going back to the PPT. Okay, where we are left. So we have seen a domestic situation. We see that the cooler, fans, fridge consumes maximum energy. So what is that we can do about it? AC. AC is the biggest culprit. They consumes. Professor Ramana has given the EER ratio and output per input. So whatever we are giving it, this one everything, actually we can purchase a TV, fridge, rather AC, but we cannot feed it. Like purchasing an elephant, you can't feed it. So the life cycle cost is very high. Actually, this is one question was there raised. What about the star rating? 3-star rating, 5-star rating. 5-star rating is if you are taking 5 rating, your life cycle cost will be brought down. That is a simple thing. So the investment whatever you are making earlier, that is at a higher rate for a 5-star holding will be paid back. So this is called payback period. Payback period will be very even if you are paying for a higher investment, your payback period will be very less. So that's the idea of. So you have to understand the basis why the 5-star rating is made, not to feed the poor, not to feed the requirement of everybody else. It is taking into consideration the overall cost comparison. Now, yeah, and tell me,
Sir, excuse me, sir. Sorry to disturb you. Your presentation is not visible,
presentation is
sir.
not visible now.
No, sir, not visible, sir. You need to present your screen again.
Oh, presentation is gone.
நான் வந்து
Sugar.
Sir, the presentation is visible now. You need to unmute yourself, sir. The presentation is visible now. Hari Iyer, sir, the presentation is visible now. Sir, your mic is off. You need to unmute the mic. Hari Iyer, sir, your mic is off. The presentation is visible now.
Now it's okay?
Yes, sir. Absolutely right, sir.
Okay, thank you for patience. You're all
Yes, sir.
patient. Okay, very patiently listening. These are the issues which it is beyond my control. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now we are
Thank
going back to the, okay. So room air conditioners, yes. Room air conditioner, refrigerator, comparative label, everything has been discussed. Lighting and fans, energy audit. These are the points which are already covered by Professor Dr. Ramana. So building energy efficiency. So am I clear? Am I clear?
Yes, sir. Absolutely clear, sir. The audio is clear, sir.
Okay. Now building energy efficiency, because we are going to the focusing on building energy efficiency. So optimum plus bioclimatic design. What is that bioclimatic design? We'll discuss. Then sun radiation, benefit from maximum from sunset radiation. Then related action, shape and orientation of the building. Orientation and share of glazing, shading, and wind protection. These are the basics of a building design, taking all the factors into consideration, including building orientation, the environment, facade, everything. So insulation solution, air tighteners, performance of the envelope. These have got everything to do with the internal temperatures, ventilation, equipment, renewable energy, air quality. Nowadays, air quality is very important, indoor air quality. Now, in the house, we are attending 24 hours during the lockdown period. Our air quality, we know very well, is less quality than the extra outside air. But we are tied up to the house forcibly without any alternative. So I am also doing my presentation from the house, sitting tightly. Okay. Then air quality, indoor air quality, that's also part of the ventilation. So we have to keep our doors and windows open. That's the simplest thing. But beyond that, when your air conditioned atmosphere is there, especially when your malls, even your big buildings with centralized air conditions, there is a problem of indoor air quality. So that is a subject to be discussed during when we are talking about HVAC, heating, ventilation, and air conditioning. So that's a subject. It's a very, very specialized subject. The organization called ASHRAE and ISHRAE are on the job because it is a global problem. So global environmental problem. So that's why ASHRAE, those who are ASHRAE members will be getting all the details. Now, bioclimatic architecture. So the climate and environmental conditions are also taken into consideration, and thermal visual comfort inside, because the comfort is more important. So when you consider the design aspects, that is based on local climate to make the best possible use of solar energy. Renewable energy comes into the picture when there is going to be a power shutdown like this, what we have faced. So renewable energy can have a backup. Nowadays, full solar energy also is possible with solar energy by this battery storage system, which is going to have a big future for in the global environment. So that's why Nobel Prize has been given 3 prizes in successively to the battery storage system. Now, the shape of the buildings, surfaces, most of the very many points have been discussed by Professor Ramana. Then techniques to be applied by the external envelope, openings, and he has also requested acoustic aspects, very important. Acoustic aspect, in what way it is important. Lighting intensity is important. Okay. Then thermal insulation at low cost. And we will be discussing in detail some of the aspects in the future slides. Thermal insulation, R value, it has got its R value and U value, which are the most of the things have been discussed in the energy conservation building codes. So thermal resistance, then that is the U value, that is thermal resistance R value, and heat losses through the U value. These are things which have to go in depth. AC needs airproof. All AC requires because it is working in a closed environment. So we have to ensure that no leakage takes place. That's applicable to the refrigerator also. There should not be any leakage. That is, leakage happens means there is a inefficiency, loss. There is a heat loss taking place. That loss has to be added on by more energy consumption. So the simplest way is to do it to arrest leakages and have a environment where it is all proof, heat proof, specific energy uses. So energy audit studies is called something called specific energy efficiency, specific fuel efficiency. The Bureau of Energy Efficiency has a scheme of energy efficiency labeling of buildings, the star rating. The star rating of building has also been emerged. We will discuss in detail what is star rating program, which will provide public recognition of energy efficient buildings, thus creating a market demand for such buildings. BE star rating system is also one of the rating system. We will be discussing in course of our presentation very many rating system. The first rating system is Energy Star labeled based on Energy Conservation Act. That is the first thing we have to understand. Second thing which BE has introduced is the star rating, is the Energy Conservation Building Code. We will have a discussion about it. Mr. Professor Ramana has highlighted some points, and we cannot go into the details. Energy Conservation Building Code requires explanation, requires 5 or 6 days of full session. Ratings based on contract demand. See, 120 kVA is the buildings that is already been discussed. So beyond that, you need a energy audit to be done. So that is for commercial purposes. What is used in commercial purposes? This law is already there, but it's to be implemented. But it will be coming soon, sooner or later. So climatic zone warm. We have got 5 different zones in India. That is climatic zones based on warm and humid climate, composite climate, hot climate, dry climate, temperate regions are, these are the basic, the region who are generally used for rating purposes. Can you say, anybody, just of course you cannot talk to me, Hyderabad is coming in which type of climate, and which are all coming under our warm and humid, hot and dry, temperature regions, this hot and dry climate, this cold climate. So which is all, you can keep it in your mind. In the chat box you can give this one. Okay, answer. Now office building, EPI, Energy Performance Index, shall be the kilowatt hours per square meter per year in terms of purchased and generated electricity divided by built up area in square centimeter. So the star rating is based on this. There are standards given based on this particular kilowatt hour. That is, kilowatt hour is units. 1 unit per square meter per year has been prescribed. So the total, they have taken a table. Based on that, you can apply for star rating. The total electricity shall not include electricity generated from on-site renewable sources such as solar. So it is devoid of that. You cannot consider that for the rating system. BPO offices, again, the average annual hourly energy performance index in watt-hour per hour per square meter. So we are going to further details for a BPO office, because BPO office is consuming much more electricity power, much more than in ordinary buildings. The total electricity shall not include electricity generated from on-site renewable resources, same conditions. So energy audit design, BPO offices, energy audit, the launched BE anyway. This is Energy Conservation Building Codes. So these codes are launched in BE in 2007, updated in 2017, 3 years back. With the technology development set higher benchmarks for energy efficiency. Objective to ensure energy efficient design, retrofitment without compromising comforts. That's very important. You should be comfortable as possible. Health, productivity, and economy. Apply local conditions. Improve. Local condition was that. So we have given five climatic conditions. So depending upon that, what conditions are there in Hyderabad may not be conditions in Vijayawada. So that may not be the same condition in Bangalore or in Jaipur, Rajasthan. The conditions are different. The emphasis is on integrated building design. So in compliance approach, your energy conservation compliance approach, mandatory requirement, certain requirements are mandatory, there's no compromise. Then a prescriptive method based on the climatic conditions, all these things, everything based on that. And a whole building performance method. So whole building procedure, these are two main requirements, prescriptive method and whole building performance method. So details are there in the Energy Conservation Building Code 2017. And the simulation can be carried out by a software. There are several softwares are there which are payable and certain free, out of which Design Builder software is one of the software which is used for building simulation. So impact of HVAC compliant, lower HVAC load, reduced consumption cost, lesser addition of power generation capacity, better building performance, climate-oriented design practice such as improved lighting and extensive use of daylighting, use of natural ventilation and free cooling system, market demand for energy efficient products such as glass, insulation, and HVAC equipments, etc. Now, energy conservation building code, compliance is very much required for new buildings. It is made compulsory, and it has been implemented also. So accredited architectures are necessary to go through the building design and give a certification. Only then in Telangana, it is possible to proceed further with the building construction. This is applicable to the commercial buildings which are already discussed. Now, green buildings. What are the green buildings? So green buildings are daylight simulation, shading analysis, lighting simulation, energy simulation, climatic analysis. All these are put together and to make a building green. So this will be going to the details, green building fundamentals. What is all the green building fundamentals? Materials of construction. What is all the totally energy consumed of a building is by the embodied energy. What is embodied energy? Is a total energy requirement for the extraction, processing, manufacture, and delivery of the building materials to the building site. See, Professor Ramana has very aptly described. What about the cement manufacture? 180 kilowatt hours per ton of cement manufacture, which is brought down to 80. So there is an embodied energy in the cement that we use for building construction, which is absolutely necessary. Nowadays, we are only constructing buildings with cement. There's no alternative to cement till now. So now the cement has to be manufactured, then it should be brought to your site because there is a transport. Fuel consumption is involved in it. And let's say if you bring it by trucks, and if there's a question of a electrical consumption when it is involved in it, when if it is coming in the railroad traffic. So this is also added on the embodied energy. So energy consumption produces CO2, which contributes to greenhouse gas emissions that we have discussed earlier. So embodied energy is an indicator of the overall energy impact on the building materials, so which is contributing to global warming and deciding factories whether you are selecting the proper materials. So we will be going to the details. What are the proper required materials to make a green building? The total amount of embodied energy may account for 20% of the building energy use. Reducing embodied energy significantly reduces the overall environment impact of the building. So embodied energy must be considered. It's one of the most important criteria for the lifespan of a building also. So we have discussed about life cycle cost. So this is another factor which has to be taken into consideration. Now, after a demolition of the building, what we are going with the demolished material. This is another thing. So because then it goes to the land, go to the dump. So that is what we are generally doing. Once it is demolished, you throw away the material somewhere, adding to the land mass, unnecessary loads. Okay. So as per the energy efficiency of the building increases, the energy consumption, reducing the energy consumption, the embodied energy of the building material will also become increasingly important. Now, out of the materials, we will discuss out of the materials. Embodied energy we can measure the embodied energy in qualitative terms by in megajoules or gigajoules per unit weight. One calorie is considered as 4.1858 joule. Now these are the embodied energy, building materials. Steel is a maximum. Concrete is a maximum. I'm sorry, not steel. Concrete is a maximum. Embodied energy in gigajoules plus 200. Steel comes second. So without steel and concrete, we are not making any buildings. We don't know how to make it. So next comes masonry, rather plastic. Next comes masonry, plastic. Then comes masonry. So masonry is also important. Then stainless steel is less. Aluminum is still less. Copper is also less. Stone is the lowest. Ceramics come between. So what is the material to be selected for a green building is stone. Then stone masonry. Simple, we can pick up for green building, which are the ideal materials to be used for the green building construction. But next, then what is the next alternative? Yes, stainless steel. No, aluminum preferred because you reuse the aluminum. Timber also you can reuse. So timber is the next alternative. So timber, the next alternative, you can see in advanced countries, United States, everything. If you go, timber is only, they are using timber. All building constructions are timber. The timber may be, of course, a lot of forest wealth is there. That's another point. But timber is the main thing which is used in advanced countries. Especially if you go to US, you will find that all the buildings, the domestic buildings, are all in timber. And it is ensuring a green atmosphere, green surroundings. There all the buildings mostly are air conditioned, their consumption per se will be far less than our consumption. Now, guidance for reducing embedded energy. Lightweight building construction, timber. Frame is usually lower than the embodied energy than heavyweight construction, where the lightweight building is the most appropriate and may result in lowest life, hot, humid climates, sloping or shaded sites, sensitive landscape. Please note all these points. For an aspiring green building enthusiast, these points are very, very important. Please note it down. In climates with greater heating and cooling requirement, night temperature variation, embodied energy in a high level well-insulated thermal mass can significantly offset the energy used for heating and cooling. Now, there are little benefit of building in a house with high embodied energy in the thermal mass or other elements of the envelope in areas where heating and cooling requirements are minimal. So we have to pick and choose the right material to suit the environmental conditions. Each design should select the best combination of application based on climate, transport, distances, availability of materials. Here, the architectural has got an architecture, has got a big role to play to understand and choose the right material. Now, management of steps in green building. Design for long life and adaptability, using durable, low maintenance materials. All these points which is given here below are important. You have to take all these points into consideration. If these are all, there is a lot of points for research work. Research work, if you want to carry out your research business, research in architecture, we have to go into the details, scientific details, so that we can work on future designs. Recycled items, a lot of importance given to the recycled items. Why recycled items? The embodied energy is already taken away from the recycled. So recycled items, you can per se say that in a hypothetical situation, that it has got a zero embodied energy. So recycled materials, whether it is wood, whether it is masonry, whether it is even cement, can be reused, and it can be reused, and everybody knows it can be reused. But then there are some works are required to reuse them, and masonry can be definitely be used back. So these are the points, everything. I don't want to go into that. Please, if you want to go into the details, we can go back to the slides, and but then steps are all very important, each and every step. Recycling, reprocessing, aluminum, steel reinforcement, and glass products. We recycle, what are the advantages? Reuse and reprocessing. The embodied energy saving percentage has been shown. So you can show very well that the percentage of saving in aluminum is much more than glass, or glass and aluminum is almost same, and reinforced steel is less. Now, green buildings, sustainable green buildings. So we are discussing about sustainable architecture. Based on sustainable development concepts, water, energy, materials, waste generated, less transport and use, better living conditions, habitat protection and restoration. And these are the important points for a green building. So you can also use the existing buildings green by reducing your water, increasing your water efficiency, water consumption, energy use, energy consumption, materials. Again, waste generation. What do you do? You can generate your waste. Everything we are throwing out. Municipality get dumping our waste materials. What we have generated in our domestic waste. Domestic waste is the maximum. Hyderabad is totally filled up. They don't know where to. There's no dumping space. And what about the transportation cost? What about the stinks generated out of waste? Domestic waste, organic and inorganic waste. These organic waste can be recycled. We can make compost out of that, and we can make so many things out of that. We can make even combustible gas, which can be reused for our kitchen. That can also be done. So many. The easiest thing which we can do is a composting. That composting can be used to create to manufacture fertilizers, organic fertilizers, which are very much required for our agricultural use, to make organic vegetables. Then habitat protection and restoration. So we are more interested in the habitat, because individual protection, if individually once you protect in your own house, you can transfer it, you can extrapolate it to habitat protection wherever the society in which you are living. So it will be having all pervading effect, which got a very, very good ripple effect, while reducing the impact of construction project as humans, health and environment. Now green buildings again, management steps, how to manage green building, design, construction, operation, maintenance, waste removal, disposal. So we have to design it properly. We have already discussed so many things about this, how to take the material design, everything. Then take the envelopes into consideration, orientation, all these things we have decided. Construction materials we have decided. Then operation, maintenance again, operation and maintenance, waste removal we have discussed. Green building leads to reduction in operation costs by increasing productivity, using less water we have discussed. So it's only a repetition of the whatever points which you had discussed earlier. Now, building design aspects, again going to the nitty-gritty of that. High performance wall, fly ash bricks. Why fly ash bricks are for walls? Because fly ash bricks are also lowest embodied energy, and it is very cheap available, provided it is a local conditions favorable. It is not coming from a far off distance. Fly ash bricks is a good option. Insulation, then glass, appliances, B star rated, already discussed. Lighting system, energy efficient lamps and already discussed. Renewable energy, Soto renewable energy, that is solar, photovoltaic cells, water heaters, biomass. So these are the primary energy sources. Energy monitoring, energy meters. Energy meters, another thing. So sub meters, water meters. See, water meters are another area which is very, very important. So once you introduce water meters, we will know the consumption. So when you know the consumption, we can introduce some effective measures, because once you charge the getting paid for this one, you will be trying to understand what is it. What you can measure only you can control. If you cannot measure, you cannot control. Life of green building features. Source of building materials, again, certified wood. We are again going back to the basics. It's repetition. So irrigation facility, landscaping, green building features continued. Interior finishing materials, already it is discussed. Ventilation and daylighting, already discussed. Use of occupants, again. Then sustainable building material were discussed. Construction, focus it renewable energy, sunlight through solar panels, using and photovoltaic cells, using green roofs, rain gardens to reduce rainwater runoff. Nowadays, the rainwater harvesting is picking up fast. So each building can be provided with rainwater harvesting, so that water can be reused, and that will take care of your water needs. We will discuss about this when we discuss about net zero efficiency building, net energy consumption roofs. There will be one slide for that. But rainwater, now coming to green roof is gaining prominence, because what about the roof material that you choose? Because underneath the roof, you have got extreme heat. At least 10-degree difference in heat can be taken care of if you take the proper roof. So roof material. So that's very important, so that you can bring down your air conditioning load. Using packed gravel and packed parking lots instead of asphalt or concrete. So these are the materials which can be chosen. High efficiency windows and insulation in walls, ceilings, and floors. Use trees planted in front of windows to produce shade. Green building design keeps a close check in full consumption. Okay, selecting what material to be used, usually part of the design sustainability of in the following years. That is rapidly renewable plant materials like bamboo, straw. These are available materials, naturally available. Forest, diamond stone, natural stone, recycled stone and metal and other products, non-toxic, reusable, renewable, and recyclable material. Use building material from local sources. See, you should not bring material from far off. Maybe maximum distance is only 50 kilometers. Beyond that, it is not sustainable. Now, reclaimed wood, reclaimed metal, precast concrete, bamboo, cork, shipping materials, then rammed earth tires, air rejection materials. This also can be used for recycle style again. Farrock, timbercrete. Farrock is also a steel material that is cleat scraps. With some blending it is done, and Farrock once it is made, It is stronger than steel. Timbercrete, glasscrete, papercrete, hempcrete, plant-based polyurethane rigid foam. Ferroc, we have discussed about Ferroc. Approximately 90% of the Ferroc is made from recycled materials such as waste steel, dust and silica from the ground up glass. The steel dust upon reaction of carbon dioxide produces iron carbonate, which when solidifies turns into solid rock known as ferroc. So these very important things, the researchers in architecture go into the details. These are the basic inputs I given. So this ferroc is a material which we can carry out more research to find out how the suitability of this one in the future green building construction material. One of the unique qualities of ferroc is that it absorbs more, is that highly toxic gas than it creates, unlike the cement. So the CO2 emission will also reduce. It's 5 times stronger than typical Portland cement. So it is a big substitute for Portland cement. So it is all very, very environmental friendly. All ferroc is made from recycled materials. So this is an area for research for the future aspirants of research in the timbercrete, a blend of sawdust waste, then cement, sand, binders, and not toxic deflocculating additive. So too glasscrete, another all recycled materials from glass and timber. And low operation cost is efficiently constructed green buildings. Many long-term benefits aside from sustainability. These include financial and health benefits, which can be incorporated. Then health benefits, we have discussed financial benefits, maintenance benefit, lower energy costs, designs such as high efficiency windows and insulation, roofs and create solar reflectance, capitalized so many this one aspects are all discussed, some of the natural vegetation. So green buildings, health benefits, indoor air pollution, among top 5 environmental risk, unhealthy air is downed up, 30% is new. WHO reports, World Health Organization reports that indoor air pollution causes 14 times more deaths than outdoor air pollution. So indoor air pollution, the more you stay in your house during the lockdown period, we have 14 times more death is possible, more than COVID death. So okay. Of hundreds EPA regulated chemicals, ozone layer, ozone and surface dioxide. So because we are using a lot of chemicals in our cleaning, so all these are embedded within our 4 walls of our house. Health benefits. Most of our dwellings are too much lead dust and clippings, so causes kidney and red blood cell damage, impairs mental and physical development, may increase blood pressure. These are all scary. I also, while putting all these slides, getting scary. Okay, about a quarter of our nation's industrial plants and water treatment facilities are in serious violation. This risk can be reduced and conditions improved by the green building. So the only solution to all these two major areas, that kidney disease, red blood damage, and mental and physical development for our future health of the children, high blood pressure. Already we have got high blood pressure with so many things. The power shut down and PPT is not getting embedded. This one inserted. My blood pressure is running high. My family people are already telling me, why you are necessarily getting panic. Okay, if it is not done, not done. But don't lose your health. Okay, about a quarter of the nature's largest industrial plants and water treatment facilities are in serious violation of the pollution standards. So that's another thing. So we have got a pollution standards, we have got a pollution control rules, our systems in place, but nothing is working. Waste reduction. Maintaining a building is important. Building ages. So for green building, initial costs and everything, there also long-term maintenance is often much lesser. So after that, the advantage of green building is our maintenance cost will be brought down. So that is one of the advantages highlighted. Then smaller scale maintenance, such as cleaning the building, can also be chosen and used to improve indoor air quality, reduce water pollution, and maintain environmentally sustainable concepts. Now, waste reduction can be reduced several ways levels by taking green approach to buildings in terms of construction, using materials listed, and earlier helps divert waste from landfills with appropriate green building measures. These are the points which already been discussed earlier, and we are highlighting it once again. On-site waste management, centralized wastewater treatment systems, reuse water. You see, whatever that water we are using can be reused again and again. In fact, 90% of the water we are using in our house can be recycled back into the system. Even drinking water can be taken away from the water that we create in our house. And the toilet water can be recycled. You can create manure out of that, composting it. Organic manure can be created. And water purification plants are there. RO system is already in place to make it drinkable. So there's a lot of prospects are there to how to use the water effectively and avoid using it, because water is going to be a major component. It's going to be, the water shortage is going to be there globally. And here in our colony, without water tankers, we can't sustain. And we don't want to bring down our, frankly, we don't want to bring down our water consumption, which is wasted 60%, 40% potential, only 40% of what we are getting is sufficient. Maybe 150 liters per person is sufficient for human consumption per day. Making it easy, but we are spending more than 500, 600. Making it easy for occupants to reduce energy waste as part of their daily routines. Now, we are coming to the nutshell. Whatever it is there, we have discussed, we have put properly in a building design. So you can go through this, each and every point, which already been discussed. And I don't think any other point is to be discussed other than this particular slides, which is actually self-informative, self-explanatory. Okay, so kindly go through that. If you want, we can share the slide once again. So here, energy efficient windows and glass, alternative energy sources, then low flow, dual flush toilets. That is one way of saving your water from the toilets. And because the toilets which consider unnecessarily throwing too much of water than what is required. High quality insulation, we discussed. There is one person, one thing which we are not low or zero VOK. We will discuss VOC, volatile organic compounds. We will be, maybe in the coming slides, we will be able to discuss about it. Now Padma Shri Laurie Baker, modern advanced scientific methods should know how to assess the merits and demerits of historical and factual evidence. These are the quotes from Laurie Baker. Laurie Baker is a British-born Indian citizen who was chosen Kerala, Trivandrum as a homeland. So there he has designed, he has totally changed the entire scenario of building construction, that is green building. How to use the material which is used from the local materials, and he has made it a very, very masonry structure, everything in such a way that it does not require any external interference of artificial lighting or even cooling. Everything is taken care of. So this is his quote. So I have no time, because of paucity of time, I don't want to go through that. But whatever his findings are all, Lawrence Baker. He was alive till 2007, 3 years back. Renowned for his initiative in cost-effective, energy-efficient architecture and designs maximize space, ventilation, and light, maintain an uncluttered yet striking aesthetic sensibility. Those who want to have more of this one. I think you will be able to get the, if you go Google it, his construction, you'll be able to get it. So he was influenced by Mahatma Gandhi and his own experience in the remote Himalayas. He promised revival of regional building practices and use of local materials, and combined this with a design philosophy that emphasized the responsible and prudent use of resource and energy. That is long back he has done all this, when so much of awareness for green building was not there. He was a pioneer of sustainable architecture as well as organic architecture, incorporating his designs even in the late 1960s. Concepts such as rainwater harvesting, which we are talking now, minimizing usage of energy efficient building materials, okay, then energy inefficient materials, that means using more of energy efficient building materials, minimizing damage to the building site, and seamlessly merging with the surroundings. That we are discussed in different language, maybe architectural languages. Okay, due to this social and humanitarian effects to bring architecture and design to the common man, the honest use of materials, this belief is in simplicity of design and life. It's not that a high profile design it is there. It is a simple design. It is not followed by any software or anything. So it is a Gandhi of architecture. Walker is Mr. Laurie Baker is known as has been called a Gandhi of architecture. Now these are some of the examples. Seamlessly into natural settings. This is house. He has made his house in Thiruvananthapuram now. So natural surroundings. Better work by Baker's work in his house. See the look around. So anybody would like to live in such a place under this, instead of staying in a concrete jungle. So this is 1970, again, hilltop constructed by Baker. So it's another view, same building, another view. Now Thiruvananthapuram, he has made a coffee house. I think I'm unable to show the full of this. Okay. So green certification. Now we'll go to the next area of green certification. We already discussed a few points about Energy Conservation Act. There are two areas are there. We have found out for star rating of buildings based on the energy consumption per square foot of square meters of area. Platinum, there's 5 ratings are there given. Then second thing is energy conservation building codes. These are all as per the energy conservation building code. Now the green certification is based on a different scale, that is recycled and reused materials, and waste reduction based on all this, reduced office waste, purchase use of recycled content, energy savings, water conservation, pollution prevention, chemical reduction, potential pollution, reduce vehicle emissions, then environmental repurchasing. All these aspects are taken into consideration while granting the certification. So 10 major areas of, again, green building rating system. Now we already discussed about BE star rating for buildings. Now Griha. Griha is another one which is pioneered by CII. Sorry, it is TERI. TERI as well as MNRE is using the GREVE standards, taking the total habitat into consideration. So green, next is IGBC. IGBC is also again Indian rating system. IGBC is based on LEED certifications. That is USGBC, US Green Building Council. They are using LEED certification. Then ECBC, again we have discussed. So Indian Green Building Council rating system, IGBC, has been developed by the Indian Green Building Council to suit the national context and priorities. The rating system incorporates national standards and codes, national building codes, energy conservation building code, Ministry of Environment and Forest, and Central Pollution Control Board. So these are guidelines are taken by them. LEED certification by again US Green Building Council, LEED energy and efficient design of buildings. IGBC. So these are the rating system we already discussed: LEED, IGBC, and Griha. So Griha is detailed slides. Griha is Indian system. So it is green building habitat. So the total habitat is taken into consideration from 2000 onwards. So it has undergone a lot of changes. 2000 now, the latest is 2014. So many changes have been made, and that depending upon the time and environment. Oh, these are the areas which there are so many 40, 25, 26 rating systems are there. Now each certification has got 3 bottom lines are there. 3 basic fundamental bottom lines: economic prosperity, environmental stewardship. That is, this is addressed to the profit. This is addressed to the people. This is social responsibility. Environmental stewardship is profit. These are considered to be the 3 vital P's. This is coming under the US UN development goals, UNDG. So development goals is part of it. What are now national priorities? Water conservation, wastewater management, energy efficiency, reduce use of fossil fuels. Commercial rating systems are based on different building types: commercial, residential, cities, townships, schools, healthcare, data centers, and several others. So data centers are maximum energy consuming. So these are also coming under the rating system. Then commercial, residential, everything, cities, townships. Cities are also coming under that. Townships are also coming under that. Now Green Co, that is CIA, is also coming into they have got a rating system which is not shown here. Now rating system developed by Terry, Griha. That is green rating for integrated habitat assessment. We already discussed this point, so I don't want to go into it. So best traditional architecture and modern technology to build new buildings. The latest version of Griha is called Griha 2015. This is the latest. Would be rated on 1 to 5 star scale, with 5-star labeled building being the most efficient. Griha rating system consists of 31 criteria, and points are assigned to different criteria which reflect current resource priorities of India. So this is opening tremendous opportunities for the architectural students and even the faculties. These are the areas where we can go put a lot of substance in the research and lot of things for the students to learn. I don't know what is your syllabus in the architectural examination. We don't know how far it is going to help you in the examination. Also, I am not sure that you will be able to, perhaps you can give a feedback, chat box, whether this is so useful for your examination purpose. I will be very happy, because at least you must help in your examination point of view. That is very important. So lead system. So which is leadership, energy and environmental design. It's a third-party certification for design, construction, and operation of a given building. So this is actually reverse contributing global. LEED certification is global. No doubt it's global. But to get this certification, you have to go for several stages, 2-3 different stages. Only then you will get the LEED certification, which is not, as far as our IGBC system, it's not that complicated. You are wasting, I don't know, I will not waste your time, but maybe LEED certification all over the globe is very high, but then in India it is very less. So there may be an opportunity for your LEED certification, to be sure. But then you have to undergo a lot of hassles, because you have got a preliminary associate, which you cannot use it for your certification. We can only a stepping stone. So you will be spending some time. Anyway, I don't want to discourage it. This is one of the negative things which I observed. Then LEED certificate in USA, premium certificate, a lot of global. These are all global. Australia has got different green certificate. In Sri Lanka also has got it. Now we coming to net zero energy building. We have discussed it earlier. So net zero energy efficiencies, you need not look for energy from anywhere outside. So this energy can be created, maybe with your renewable energy sources. It can be stored with your battery, and the water can be consumed with your rainwater harvesting. You need not that can be stored throughout the year. That is sufficient, and you can go on cycle it, recycle it. You can use it. You don't throw it outside because 90% of the water can be used. And even it has been proved that whatever that from experiences of several users, that with the rainwater of harvesting, they can take care of your taking care of a yearly need. That may not be possible in a area like desert-like area like Rajasthan, but it is possible in a normal rainfall area. Definitely, the coastal areas like Kerala, Goa, Bombay is possible. It is possible in Hyderabad also, but then still these particular things has to be tested. Okay, in order to achieve their net zero energy efficiency, that is national zero energy buildings, net zero energy buildings must first reduce energy demand using energy efficient technologies, then utilize renewable energies, and greenhouse. That of course, net effect is we are eliminating the greenhouse gas at all, total elimination. So both measures, active and passive measures, are required for SOTA, water, winds, biogas. All this can be used. Now we are coming to into a different area, that is an emerging technology. What is the emerging technology? Internet of Things. What is it? Has got to do with the architecture and building. There are a lot many things that we done because our modern building is consisting of several devices. We have got pumps, we have got STPs, we have got so many things are there. Pumps are required, water, and so many devices has to be connected. So how is it possible? Internet of Things. One internet with another gateway can connect all the devices, and you can control their operations, their whether it is stoppage, controlling the flow, everything is can be controlled by the IoT system. So it is Internet of Things. It is being used in the smart cities in a big way because it is connected with the GPS. So it is all the traffic systems, your road maintenance system, road layout. So now the technology is coming in so fast that is interconnected with so many divergent convergence of multiple technology like real-time analytics, machine learning, commodity sensors, embedded systems. All these things are all with a wireless sensor network, control systems, automation. So these are all coming into the building management system, so that entire thing will be one computer. You can operate all these things. You can create a smart home out of it. So the entire thermostatic controls, lighting fixtures, everything has been controlled by a single individual or even automized. Entire things can be automized. Say for instance, the multiple pumping system can be automized by this one, real-time internet application, because one continuous in a multi-story building like where 20, 30, 40 building stairs are there, you have to have a connection of pumps. So it has to automatically start and stop. Otherwise, it will be difficult because you can't have a big storage system at the rooftop. Maybe from the lower side, you have to pump out when the time leads, every hourly needs, you have to control. So that controlling mechanism can be done by the IoT sensors. So IoT sensors are coming in a big way, and IoT sensors are being also employed in the energy meters, water meters also. Wherever water meters are brought out with these IoT controls enabled systems, there is a 40 to 50% reduction in water consumption. So Internet of Things again will go. Internet revolution began with the connecting people to information. These are the nitty-gritties of IoT. So we are not going to see today is a day of digitization. So in the operation, maintenance, everything, that digitization will help. So we are rapidly evolving from internet of people to an internet of things. IoT is technology digitizing the physical world. IoT applications, a real-time monitoring system, helps to achieve pumping flow. I already discussed about it. Controlling sensors, software. The IoT application, you can see here. This is one of the more clear image. Thermal imaging sensors, Intel IoT gateway, cloud storage and reporting. You see, we can have in an ordinary room, if somebody enters, you go and switch on the light, everything. With an IoT and automatic, there can be automatic sensors and thermal imaging sensors. You can control your air conditioner with this, controlling your temperature from 24 degrees to 25 degrees. You see, what is the comfortable temperature of a human body? I think that's a question which I ask in every forum. And there are boys and girls, male and females are there in the question. So somebody says 26, 27, somebody says 18, somebody says 20. Okay, the human body temperature average is 24 degrees. 24 degrees for a female and about 26 degrees for a male. So that 26 degrees or 24 degrees can be increased to 26 degrees and 30 degrees with a fan on. So thereby you can bring down your temperature, that is your consumption, energy consumption. Because every 1 degree difference in temperature, that is air conditioner with an air conditioned room, your saving will be 6%. 6% is phenomenal. So here, thermal imaging sensors, when you put, you can bring down your comfort temperature. You can adjust. Then your building management system, it can be in the center, control the entire thing. Cloud storage, everything finally go to the cloud. So the cloud, from the cloud, it will all the data is stored into a cloud. So big data, small data, all these things have been put into the cloud. From there, it is retract, that is taken away whenever it is required. So you can control your fans, you can control your air conditioners, you can your even temperature requirement for your bathroom. So remote monitoring. If you want to have it, this one in your mobile, you will get the operating system. You can control it. You can sit far away from it and also control it. So sensors, you got sensors and of different thermal sensors, pressure sensors are all going to drive our this one digital world. So in architecture also we have to be a bit conscious about it. So solutions, targeted solution, again real time occupancy calculation, automatic adjustment of occupancy data. Then setup is you can have motors, fans, chillers, air compressors, boilers, DG sets, everything can be controlled. Smart homes and building. Sensor with actuators can monitor the energy consumption and take appropriate action. The smart home appliances are available with connectivity features that allow them to be automated to benefit from smart metering and variable tariffs. So additive manufacturing, I am going to the latest design feature of a building with a very advanced stage of building construction called additive manufacturing techniques, which is also called 3D printing. So additive manufacture, from the word it says that you are add. Additive means add on. It is a manufacturing technology which is developed. The add on layers with a printing machine. It will be like printing machine, but it will be going on giving your material and create layers. You have got a already design, that is a digital design in your computer. You can make use of that particular computer software to have this particular method of constructing a building can be done. So it has also come into the architectural domain, which is already popular in manufacturing design, which is coming to the prominence in in architectural design, industry, that is building design. So this is an area where we can go into research for the faculty. You kindly make use of it and give me feedback to me whether you can make use of your future research based on that. Because by and large, in India, there's no research going on, frankly speaking and bluntly speaking. We only transfer technologies. If somebody does it something, we try to transfer the technology at a cost. And we are going on depending on China. We are going on depending on China for this particular area. Now we are in trouble. So this is the thing which everybody knows. So we should have indigenous developed technologies by our own research and development team. And we should also do these architectural colleges should take a step in the right direction to encourage design and development, doing research. So this is an area where somebody has done something which I copy pasted it. It's not that this is what you do. We copy paste technology at a cost. See, now we are thinking in manufacturing in India, make in India. So make in India should be put to practice. It's a very, very good fantastic system. First, we should start from the home. We should start from architectural colleges. We should start from home. What innovation, small innovation that can be done. So this is one area. Let me see. I got a slide. I got a I got a video.
Excuse me, sir.
Tell me.
Sir, this is Neha from SVCA, sir. Sir,
Yeah.
we were just wondering how many more slides are to be there, sir. Because
Oh, yeah,
it's
yeah,
already
yeah.
two.
No,
It's
no.
already 2, and children have not had their lunch.
No. Their children's is only more important. I thought perhaps my presentation is being taken precedence to hunger.
Yeah.
Okay. But
No, sir. We are really enjoying this session, and it's very informative for the children also.
when hunger pan comes, nobody
Yes,
can
sir.
stop anybody, including me. So hunger is important. Once see, food, shelter, and clothing. Only then you will get knowledge. So
Yes,
first,
sir.
before taking you to go into the bhajan, you do your bhojan. Bhojan is one of the pre. Otherwise, you will not concentrate on bhajan. So I don't want to go anything further. I will
Yes, sir.
show the additive design. I don't want to go into the this also. That is video.
Okay,
Please see
sir.
this certain things.
Okay.
3D
Okay, sir.
printing. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So 3D printing is a additive manufacturing building, because I don't want to go because it's like again a slide, rather video. I don't want to play the video now. If somebody wants, they can stay back. Other people can. Of course, you are taking a this one screenshot. No problem, because how many students are there now? How many participants are there?
Sir, we have 44 participants with us.
Okay,
Sir.
44 participants. It's a very major achievement for me.
Yes, sir.
Because it was 46 or 44. Now you see, this 3D printing is somebody is requested. I will show the video. But then, if you can take your food, because most of the people are working in the house only. I am also getting my lunch here while giving the. Okay, now see, 3D printing modest. See, you can complete a entire building within 24 hours. So how much time we are taking in completing a house now? 24 hours you can print a house, print and building a modest house. And the saving is 40%. And no working persons are involved in it. No manpower, no migrant labor. No migrant labor is required for constructing your building. Okay, otherwise now migrant laborers have run away. We are in trouble. So now 3D printing house, if you have got 24 hours, you can construct your house. Okay, and at 40% cost. Okay, with no this one. See, then a lot of waste can be avoided. Now printed modules. See, these are printed house. So if they're less than 24 hours, less than 24 hours. See, now another 3D printing. This is what is done. You see, you can see these are printer. Printer is shown there. How it is, all layers are being made also layer by layer. It is very visible. So another one. Green certification. You cannot talk about green until you love your people and you love your country. I am here to say global warming, and you see, this is done by Greta Thunberg, Swedish girl. 15-year-old girl. She became an overnight celebrity by saying this. Helen Keller. Small drops make a small things also changes also making a big ocean. Measurement yardsticks don't approximate when you estimate. See what you cannot control, what you cannot measure, you cannot control. This is a basic fundamental of energy conservation. Okay, now that's all over. My presentation is over. Now you have your comments, or you can do whatever it is. You can give your chat box, and if you want, it's too late. I think we can have a
Sir, we have
We have a few questions, sir, from the students.
okay.
If you don't mind, I will be asking them on their behalf, sir.
Yeah, okay, please.
Yes, sir. So these questions have been asked by the students, sir, in the WhatsApp group. So the very first one is, are green buildings more expensive to construct and operate?
This is whatever that is. I given the presentation is very clear. These are wood is a wood costlier than cement. Wood is one of the materials. See, it's all the question of selection of materials. The selection of materials, we are carefully selected that these are all cheap materials available locally within 50 kilometers. So these are the things which is available. What are the main criteria of selecting this one is locally available materials which are far cheaper than manufactured items. Okay, this is one of this one. And it is with local materials. So if you want to take say Laurie Baker, I explained with the data, everything, with the images, everything. What he has made, local materials, he has made it comfortable, very comfortable, and yes, with aesthetic effect. What is required for an architecturer? It's an aesthetic effect is given. Comfort is given. What else you want? Any next question, sir? Have I answered your question?
Yes, sir. I hope
if you want
your question is answered.
Okay. Okay.
Yes, sir. We move on to the next one, sir.
Yeah.
Just a second, sir. Is there a requirement of energy audit for buildings which are already designed as net zero energy buildings?
No, zero energy building is nowhere in to the best of my knowledge. There is no zero energy building anywhere available in the country. Okay. And one thing is, energy audit is required where energy is consumed. Otherwise, what audit? The audit is concerned. The audit is concerned. Somebody comes and says, you have got zero energy consumption. There is no audit. That's the audit result. Zero energy consumption. Matter is over.
Right.
You understand? Now you understood the answer, right? The first thing is should understand that if net energy consumption is our final goal. Our final goal is you should have a net energy consumption in a building. How can you? We are not designing a building till now. Have you designed and constructing somewhere? See, then secondly is you can do an audit. What audit you can do? Net energy consumption building, net zero energy consumption should have a what is it called? Renewable energy system, solar panels. We can audit solar panels. We can find out whether that particular the energy that we generated out of this solar panel can be recycled, and that is sufficient. If it is excess, we can sell it. We can sustain to the, so more than sustainable, it will be a profitable business. You have your building, it is net zero, which knows, but then you generate your electricity there with a solar panel. The excess solar panel, we can again migrate it to this one. That you can do it with the energy audit. If such an opportunity is there, please give it to me. I will come. Okay, next.
Yes, sir. The next one, sir. What are the site factors that need to be taken into consideration for green buildings? As government is giving permission for buildings and other side it is being developing and getting awareness on green buildings. Why can't government permit only the green building for construction and have rules and regulations accordingly?
You see, I don't have my idea, what idea of what government does. See, we have given all these things, everything. But are they giving subsidy for this one? I mean, perhaps I cannot. Maybe they may be getting. We don't know. This is an idea. This is a question which I have no answer, because this is something different. This one. I am technical. I discussed about technical aspect, not the subsidy aspect. Everything I don't know. I have no idea.
Right, sir.
Yeah.
So next one, sir. Is there any technology to recycle or harvest the heat that is emitted from outdoor units of air conditioners?
Oh, there are a lot many technologies available. They are recycling this one, everything. There's a heat pump technology is there. So many technologies are not one. Everything you are recycling, you see, that is the hot air which is coming out can be used, and it is being used actually. Ashtray, if you are going to ashtray, lot of technologies are available, but then you cannot spell out all these technologies in a occasion like this. Then it will be, you have to discuss about HVAC, a separate session. So that will be a paid this one, everything. You have to pay. Now this is a free session. Okay. Okay.
Of course, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Then.
Sir, another one, sir. What is the most effective way to enhance people's awareness towards energy consumption in their buildings?
Oh, this particular program which we are conducting it's not a training program. It's an awareness program. So we are trying to create awareness among those participants. Are you aware of it? Now have you realized that this is the requirement of the day? It's a requirement of the day. Then you tell by word of mouth, or by giving a training session or a session to others. You this particular information that and data available there with you is sufficient enough to give a presentation to others and try to make the people understand. Yeah, awareness is very much important. If people are not aware about this one, everything, go into the details, nobody will accept. If you understand what I say, you will accept it. If you don't understand a language which I tell you, they will not understand. So awareness is very important. Awareness is with a come education. Knowledge come education is awareness. Okay, sir?
Yes, sir.
My language is, I don't know whether it is crude or...
No, sir, it is very much refined and we are not able to understand what you're saying, sir.
Yeah, okay.
Yes, sir.
Any other question? With all beautiful question, huh? All questioners have put their mind on it. That's a very, very positive thing. Okay, positive thing. And all the questions they asked they have not asked me difficult questions. I was looking for some difficult questions the faculty can put forward. Perhaps they will be able to give more highlight, because students are different, faculties are different with a
Right,
different knowledge level. If the faculty has got some questions to ask, some openings to this one for the lead certification, then after
yes, sir, I will.
yeah.
Yes, I'll ask them, sir.
Uh,
Sir, another question. Is merely focusing on the energy efficiency enhancement of buildings enough to reduce building sector's increasing energy demand?
Energy is one part of it. Energy, what is energy consuming of? Water also. If I want to get water in my house, there's an energy requirement. So you reduce water also. Then waste, whatever we generate in our house, domestic waste, we have discussed about that. The waste, see, the waste which you are destroying, we are putting it, somebody is taking it out, taking it to the dumps that municipal GHMC trucks are coming, taking it away, throwing it out somewhere far away. Whereas I can create wealth from my waste. If I put my, because simple means my domestic waste, which I am creating nearly 500 grams, 1 kilo of waste I can recycle, and this recycled material is a saleable material. Okay, I am getting 20, I purchased 40 rupees from a mall for a 1 kilo of compost. So I can sell it. So I can make money out of that. Okay, and what about the product? The product is that is compost. That compost is organic manure. So we are helping the nature to have more of organic farming, affordable organic farming. With the result, organic fertilizers will be ordinary, organic vegetables will get it, which is good for your health.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Is it sufficient? Am I satisfactory?
Yes, sir, very much, sir.
Ultimately,
This is,
ultimately, what is the star rating you are going to give me? Is a first 1 star, 2 star, 5 star, or no star?
definitely 5 stars, sir.
Okay, very nice of you. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, is it unanimous?
Definitely, sir, it should be unanimous.
Okay. So anyway, very nice. Very nice spending your time. I feel happy because
Yes, sir.
there's no commotion. People stayed back, 46 people. I hope you were taken your this what is it called? Screenshot also.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Screenshots
That,
have been taken, sir,
that is
throughout.
a proof. That's a proof. Okay,
Yes, sir. Yes.
you can give us both PCRA and our what is it called our faculties a good good letter, appreciation letter, whether we appreciate it or not.
Definitely, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very
So
much.
this is the end of the question answer session, sir.
Yeah.
I
Very
would
nice.
like to conclude by proposing the vote of thanks, sir.
Okay.
Yeah. So on behalf of the organizing team, it is my privilege to propose the vote of thanks for this webinar. Firstly, I would like to thank Srimati Vanidevi Garu, Honorable Secretary, Sri Venkateshwara College of Architecture, to have given us the opportunity to organize this webinar. On behalf of Sri Venkateshwara College of Architecture, I, Professor Karishma Patne, thank Mr. Cherian Joseph, Additional Director and Head of South Region, and Mr. Hari Kilotu, Sir, Deputy Director, Sub-Regional Office, Hyderabad, Petroleum Conservation Research Association, for their wholehearted cooperation to facilitate this program. I would like to thank the speakers, Professor Ramna Sir and Engineer Harihara Iyer Sir, for sharing their immense knowledge and experience in the field of building energy efficiency and green buildings with us today. The lectures were very informative and insightful. I am sure the participants acquired immense knowledge through this webinar and will utilize this in their careers to scale their professional ladder. We would like to be a part of Petroleum Conservation Research Association to help our students and faculty to upgrade our learning. We would like to thank Professor Kamini Singh, Principal, Sri Venkateshwara College of Architecture, for her unrelenting support to us. We would also like to thank Professor Shalini Reddy, HOD, Sri Venkateshwara College of Architecture, for her cooperation to facilitate the webinar and make it a success. Thank you to all the faculty of SVCA who helped us in coordinating for the webinar. Last but not the least, I would like to thank all the students and participants. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.